All right. We are here. We are feeling good. We are fresh off the new JoJo chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Part 9, the JoJo lands. We're going to try not to go into everything on the video because it just came out. We'll save that for next week.
Yeah, for the actual full video, which you can go see over on Patreon.
All right.
Before we get started, the usual announcements. By the time that this airs, CowCon will be over. And we have no idea if CowCon actually was good or not, but we'll assume
I'm going to expect the best.
Yeah, it's a 2-day show as well, so I'll be interested to see what it has to offer.
Mm-hmm. And if we saw you there, you were looking lovely.
Yeah. You've definitely lost weight.
Yeah, that was a great cosplay.
Yeah, it was great, yeah.
Our witty banter sure was fun.
Yeah, we had so many moments.
Tons of memories. And then graduation day came. Yeah. But don't worry, we'll never forget each other.
Yeah.
Angel Beats music plays.
Senpai did in fact notice you.
Yes. Cherry blossoms falling.
So that'll have probably already ended by the time this airs. But
yeah, for sure.
We will be on our way to AggieCon in College Station the first weekend of March.
Yep.
And then afterwards it'll be to Pasadena, Texas for Animeverse Fest, which I just found out has Yuri Lowenthal is going to be there.
Oh, that's actually a big name.
Yeah, so...
also, I didn't realize it was named Animeverse Fest.
I found that out earlier today.
That's a strange full name. I don't really like that, but okay.
Yeah, I thought it was just Animeverse. But
that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, and then it apparently had Fest at the end of the name when I Googled it.
Sure.
To figure out if where we needed to get that down.
But
then at the end of the month is in Chicago up for C2E2 at the very end of March, right into April 1st. So that's it for shows until the end of the month. And then with that, further ado, I guess we'll get to the art.
Yeah. So let me start it right now. All right. So this time it was. This is the first piece in the Overwatch lineup.
Yeah, because it was part of the theme for Patreon poll was loot boxes.
Yeah.
And this was versus League of Legends, and thank God this one.
Yeah, it's a quintessential loot box game. It's up there with that awful Star Wars game that EA made as well.
Yes, basically the theme was just predatory business practices, but you can't really say that. It's a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
So we went with loot boxes.
I still love the old clip of the loot box opens, and it's like, you get nothing.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's... This is the reason why I called it loot boxes, was this game in particular.
Yeah.
It was very egregious with all of the things.
And there's been plenty of horrible games with horrible random mechanics, so... I've heard that apparently, like, one of these FIFA games was really bad.
I heard about that.
About it. So...
Yeah, it's apparently the only way AAA games can make money now.
Basically. Like, that's it. You got nothing else.
Yeah.
Other than pay-to-win DLC.
I guess, yeah.
I mean,
I can't speak for companies and things like that, but it feels like bullshit.
Yeah, it's pretty miserable. It's, like, just finish the fucking game. Half the time it's like, some of them, they're just not even a finished game and they sell it to you.
Yeah.
I remember, like, Titanfall. The first Titanfall is not even a full game.
Yeah.
But you have to pay the price of a full game. All it is it just enables you to do multiplayer. Like, it doesn't have a story or anything, if I remember right. The first one?
No, it didn't. And then it was the same thing, too, because a lot of people are complaining now about games being, like, $70 instead of the usual $60.
I remember we looked this up once, and games have always averaged between $50 to $70 through the years. They've just moved up and down with the price of the dollar.
Yeah, which was interesting to think about, too, because that's when someone was complaining about that. I was very thrown off by it, because I remember that being a thing we had discussed, where it was like, no, games have been, like, kind of that expensive.
Games have been $70 before. It's just, like, we don't remember it because we weren't there.
Yeah,
generally.
I feel like...
But for most of our gaming experience, games have costed between $50 to $60 for a console game,
and like
around
30 to 50
for a handheld game.
Yeah.
Generally topping out at about 45-ish.
Yeah,
from what I remember, but somewhere between $34.99 and $44.99 for like GBA for 3DS games or DS games.
3DS games were like usually between 40 and 50.
Yeah, so going from original Game Boy to 3DS, the life of the Nintendo handheld.
The problem also, I think, is that like they have a lot of crunch and a lot of the actual culture of making video games outside of an indie studio is just not very good.
Yeah,
like that's what it's but it's also just weird too because like they'll like we have to justify the price tag and things like that. But then you look at, like those small indie devs, and I'm trying to think about like what's the difference between this big company and the smaller shareholders.
Yeah. Shareholders and CEOs that need 17 more yachts.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
that was the inevitable conclusion there.
Yeah. But, not to spoil it, not to jump ahead there.
Yeah, but that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
And you get a little disillusioned, and you're like, oh, maybe I should just not buy games anymore. Mainly because if it's something that you don't want to support, you should put your wallet where your mouth is.
My issue's mainly just the time, finding the time to play the games is the rough part for me.
Right, and again, it's tough too because even when you put your wallet where your mouth is and shit like that, it's like it doesn't actually matter.
It's very rough. There are times, like recently, the whole D&D thing actually seemed to work surprisingly, because what worked was that everyone pulled their D&D Beyond subscriptions and stopped fucking paying them money.
Yeah.
Because before that, they didn't give a shit. They were like, sure, whatever. Yeah. Like, we have a monopoly on role-playing games. And then it's like, actually, you guys kind of don't. And they're like, oh, fuck. Yeah. This was built on pillars of sand.
It kind of just, depends on the company.
So, but it depends on the company and what's going on in them. So sometimes it can work, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Right.
It's not like we could all just decide not to buy, I don't know, eggs or something. Something weird or strange like that.
It's funny that you mentioned eggs.
Although I know there was some sort of egg shortage.
Yeah, apparently there's an egg shortage, and there was an article recently that said, hey, maybe, you should just skip breakfast.
I've heard that the answer is to buy local for this egg issue, because the thing is that the large farms are having an issue with this, but apparently if you're just buying from local farms, it's not an issue.
No, it isn't really. But people do bring up that it's like, wow, it's like $6 for eggs or something. I can't remember the actual numbers on it, but...
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure eggs make me sick now.
But yeah, long story short is that, go buy local. There's plenty of farmers markets and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cheap. Again.
I mean, I guess the only issue is, if those aren't in your area, then this advice falls kind of, on deaf ears.
It also seems a little, it could probably seem
privileged
or callous because there's a lot of food deserts out there that we don't know about.
So...
Yes, buy local. There is nothing local.
If there's nothing... Yeah, again, this advice is, for people who can do it. Things like that. So.
But, again, talking about, monopolies and things like that, and shortages on things, some of the shortages are real.
Definitely.
But, when someone comes to me and talks to me about, video games,
I like how you had to do this whole hand just kind of guessing it. Because there was no sketch there.
Nope.
So...
Not even a little.
I always wonder why you don't just get larger sketch paper.
Oh, they don't make it.
Oh, they actually just don't make this size. Okay.
Yeah, they don't make 12 by 18.
Okay, that was not what I thought you were going to say. I was just thinking you were I thought it was just a, there's other stuff you do that's on 11 by 17 so much that there was no point in buying special paper, but that's really weird. They just don't make it in that size?
Not for a price that I'm willing to pay.
Ah, okay, that also works.
Because the 12 by 18 stuff is not usually printer paper. It's usually on high quality watercolor paper.
I get you. So they don't make janky sketch paper. I'm going to use the term janky, but...
Yeah, they don't make it like that size.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I was not expecting that. I thought it was just a, practicality. There's no point in buying two sizes of paper or something.
It doesn't exist, and there is no point. So it's a little bit of both.
It's a bit of both? Okay. I didn't realize it just didn't exist.
Yeah. 12 by 18 exists. It just doesn't really exist in a... sketch paper.
Yeah.
Same with 12 by 12. You can't really buy 12.
Well, I wasn't expecting, the 12 by 12 straight up. But...
Yeah, again, there's the main sizes that are made for printing are tabloid, legal, and letter. Those are the three that we have here in America. There might be some in other countries. I don't know.
I just would notice it. I was always some you'll draw something and then it goes off the side of it, and I'm just thinking I'm wondering what the reason is. I'm not thinking you haven't thought of it, obviously. Yeah. You're the person doing it. You should be the first person being there's an issue here, So, it's not that. I wasn't thinking, oh, he never thought of it. That would be weird if he never thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just was wondering why, it seems like a strange... It seemed like an easily solvable issue
If it
existed.
Yeah.
If a solution existed. And I was wondering why the solution didn't exist, basically.
Yeah, they just don't make that.
Got you. I also like this pink color a lot, so.
Mm,
that was our distraction from talking about the actual piece.
Yeah.
This is an art video.
Yeah, right.
So, no, but...
I don't think we ever talk about the art usually. That's not...
It's really funny. We actually very rarely talk about the art, I feel like. I don't really know. We go in between. It depends on the piece, I think.
Yeah.
So... This was your favorite character, right?
In Overwatch, yeah. This was the one I played the most of.
Yeah, I remember you playing them a lot.
Yeah, I had an in-depth conversation with a patron on Patreon about this character and how much they hated this character.
That's funny. This was a very hated character. It's because the gun locks onto you, I think.
Yeah, but they got rid of that at a certain point.
Oh, okay.
So this character's been through the most development out of any character.
I feel like that's definitely true. That's gotta be true.
Because, if I remember correctly, when they were in beta, initially they didn't have the lock-on mechanic. And they had the turrets. They were very weak. They had and I don't think they even had the shield that you threw out.
Huh, okay.
But their ultimate was just the shield generator.
That's, yeah, I do remember that being the first one they had.
And then they added the teleporter. They also gave her that projected shield, and then they gave her, I think, the lock-on mechanic afterwards.
I just know that when I played the game, this character had that lock-on gun. Because that's what everyone complains about, because, like, it's a shooter game, and so if a character doesn't, quote, have to aim, that's the first thing they're going to harp on.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, so then she had 6 turrets that also did very little damage. But then afterwards, and I don't know anything after this update, but basically, I think they fixed the ultimate later, but basically they made the teleporter on a cooldown.
Yeah.
So it became just her just able to, like, you know, throw the teleporter in the lines, and you could teleport over there and bring your team with you, and you could actually shoot through the teleporter.
I do remember that, because you could send diva bombs through the teleporter, which was really funny.
Yeah, so that became part of a very short-lived meta, which was really fun. I enjoyed that part.
I thought that was great.
And then her ultimate was just a giant wall.
Yeah, the big wall with the properties. It has extra properties, but for the sake of this discussion.
They took away her shield that she threw out.
Yeah, she got -2 turrets, I think.
-3, so she went from 6 to 3.
But I thought it was 4. Okay.
She had 6, and then they had 3. And now the 3 do more damage. They basically do the damage of 2. So it's the same, but it's also different, because you can just put them in different places.
Yeah.
And then she had more of a Zarya thing, where it was a beam that would go out, but it would stay straight, and you'd have to aim it.
That's okay.
But her big shield that you would put up gave her ultimate super quick. So she'd be like, you know, pull up the wall, everyone would shoot into it, and if you shoot into it, you get just immediate ultimate back charge up.
Yeah, it was really nutty.
So she was fun during that during that era, because she was never meta. She's never been meta. She's always been like that character that everyone knows isn't good.
She's a fun casual character.
But even if you're playing competitive, if you see her on the other team, you're like, we're in for a bad time.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't have like a full on like really good comp, is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, they just don't fit anywhere.
Yeah,
they're fun, and they are definitely like.
They really do have like a kind of very strange outcast kind of design compared to the rest of the characters.
Yeah, because they were originally as a support character, but they don't really do support in the way that most people think of support.
Yeah.
Because she was setting up turrets, putting up shields, giving a teleporter, but there's just no meta that really fit her.
No.
And I always felt bad, because I really enjoyed playing her, because she was just a little silly. And it was kind of like how when John ever went main on Torbjorn, everyone would be like telling him to stop griefing.
Yeah, but he's carrying the team,
yeah,
and they're still telling him he's griefing.
Yeah,
and then they win, and he has play of the game, and they're still telling him he's griefing.
Yeah, it was like that with Symmetra. Yeah. Anytime you play a character like Torb or Symmetra,
it's because they don't have to aim again. The no aiming thing. Because I remember there were actual statistics on console. Torb was considered horrendously overpowered because it's so hard to aim on console compared to PC.
Yeah.
So that was really funny.
Yeah, with and then like again, people get mad about stupid things all the time. But,
yeah.
Because, like, with Symmetra particularly, it was just like, oh, yeah, the aiming thing, everything's OP, but she just, but at the same time...
The turrets are, quote, cheap,
but
because they just randomly kill you through the door.
Yeah, but at the same time, they would say that, oh, this character sucks and is not worth playing.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, well, you're playing an OP character that sucks, and you're like, look, those statements can't be,
Yeah, there's a little bit of hypocrisy here in those. They just don't, 2 and 2 don't add up.
Yeah, it's like, you can just say you don't like playing against this character. I get it.
Yeah, definitely.
But the VA is very sweet.
That's true.
You met her a couple times, right?
No, I met Sombra's.
Oh, you met Sombra. That's who it was. Okay. I thought you met both of them.
Because half the time they're at the same convention.
Right, because they're buddies.
So.
The only convention we went to that had one of them was Sombra. And
I do remember when you got Sombra.
That was at the flea market con.
Yeah, flea market con. Yeah,
with the wrestling ring. But no, I've never met Symmetra's VA, but she's from anything I've seen on her Instagram, she's a very sweet lady.
Gotcha.
And kind of a derp.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, we'll see. If this never gets sold at the end of the year,
I'll just get an autograph.
I'm going to see if I can find her.
Yeah, right.
At a local show. And just be like, hey, man.
I just keep it in there for any show they show up at. Like, I mean, for whatever. Don't put a time limit on it. If it's later in the year, it hasn't been a full year, fuck it. Just crack it out and get it signed.
Pretty much, yeah.
It'll be for you.
Yeah, though I don't know how many shows she goes to. She might be...
no clue. I can tell, like...
well, we're getting close to the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, the piece is about to end, so don't be shocked when it does.
Yeah.
I'm
going to
crack my toe there just so the mic can hear it.
Let me just look that up real quick. Because there's...
and there's a signature.
There's a website that you can go to that tells you, like, what VAs have already been scheduled for conventions on anime.
Oh, cool.
On AnimeCon, so you can just go...
Give them a quick plug real quick, I guess.
Oh,
Or just whatever, so anyone who's listening can know where to go.
AnimeCons.com.
Oh, it's on... okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was on their website.
It's on their website.
Okay.
Okay,
everyone
I thought we were going to, like... Oh, the voice actress for Symmetra.
No. I meant the website if you need to go look to see if your favorite VA is anywhere.
I actually didn't know Anime Cons
they have
that section.
Yeah, they have a feature there.
Okay, I'm just used to looking for what shows are going to be when.
Yeah, because you can list, like, Associate Series when you go to their website, it has a thing for guests.
Oh, okay. I have seen that on the side, I just never really used it, I guess.
Guests by name.
Oh, interesting.
And then, it has it has, like, a whole thing for them. It's like, let's go to Johnny Young Bosch.
Well,
just because it's here.
Oh, okay. I was like, just try to find who you're looking for.
And then see, it'll have
It'll tell you all the shows?
All the shows they've been to.
That's really cool.
For as long as AnimeCons.com has been here.
That makes sense, because you can go to the previous year's conventions and see who was a guest. So it does make sense that that's all aggregated into one
it's really interesting.
I do recommend using that website if you're just looking to see what cons are coming up. If there's any in your area. Yeah, it's just a really easy website.
I do miss those websites that actually gave reviews of the shows, though.
Oh my god. Well, the half of the issues was, I know the ones that were reviews for artists, half of them, they were just all bad anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this show fucking is miserable. Everyone here's the whatever, But the other issue is that half the time people who are giving reviews are only doing so because it's bad.
Yeah.
So that's why usually I feel that, like, any sort of average review you see, like, the averages of them are a little weighted down.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this before. If something's amazing, most people are just like, wow, this is so amazing. I don't feel the need to go do anything.
I don't need to tell you.
Yeah, I'm just going to go live on with my life, having experienced this amazing thing. Amazingly,
We got any luck?
No, nothing for 2023. But she was at Fan Expo Chicago in 2022.
Okay.
And at Anime Expo in 2022. But and then MechaCon Orlando in 2022. Well, we'll see. I follow them on there.
Yeah.
If they have a show, I'm like, I'm actually local to this.
Nah, just send it to them.
Okay, man.
Just be like, yo, you got an agent, a P.O. box, something.
Yeah.
Used to be you could send stuff to, like, celebrities' agents, or so they'd have some sort of place you could write.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to give you their home address.
No. Which reminds me, I do need to talk to Matthew Mercer at some point.
That's true. And find his home address.
Yeah.
And break into his house.
So he can sign my picture of the Persona thing, and I just need him to sign.
He's the only person left.
He's legit the only person fucking left.
That's it.
God damn it.
That's hilarious.
Goddamn your fame, Matthew Mercer.
Well, and with cursing Matthew Mercer's fame, I'm pretty sure we're going to bring that to a close.
Yeah.
So big shout outs to the Patreon, everyone on Patreon, all the big fans.
So that's Sam, Lexi, Allie, Ed, and our newest member,
PR.
We're going to go simply with PR.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of public relations, so
yeah.
All right.
All right.
So big shout outs to all of y'all. Thanks for being patrons.
Yep.
And we're gonna end this one. We got another one to film. Actually, you didn't hear that. It's the magic of recording.